I am very extremely sorry for being very late on these reviews, but I promise you guys for the rest of the week I'll be getting Halloween reviews out until leading up to Halloween, of course. The reason why is because I had a dental appointment, and basically I got my teeth just basically deep cleaned. Don't want to get in specific or anything like that, but my mouth has literally been sore the past 2 days, and today has finally been the day I can actually talk more. So if I don't talk and this video is shorter than usual, now you know why. The Conjuring. Released in July of 2013, directed by the one and only great James Wan. I remember seeing this movie in the summer with my dad that summer. I actually reviewed this movie back in 2013. But we don't talk about that video, and we don't want to even watch that video because it is cringy and bad. Now that I'm an adult, I want to go back and review this movie and talk about morally about what the impact of this movie is. Because truly, if you're watching this review, then you've basically seen this movie. So spoilers for this whole review. But it's an awesome movie. This film stars Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, Lily Taylor, and Ron Livingston, and is about a paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren work to help a family terrorized by a dark presence in their farmhouse. So like I said, if you're watching this review, then you probably know everything about this movie, and you know it's like a really great movie. And to me, honestly, I have referenced this movie probably the most I've ever done. For almost 8 years now doing reviews, when I do a horror review, I usually try to mention The Conjuring because this is the standard I want to see in horror movies. And if this past decade, horror movies have become the #1 box office draw besides superhero movies. I mean, if you honestly think about it, horror movies have become Oscar-winning, Oscar-nominated kind of films. I mean, look at Get Out and like Hereditary and all these great horror films. And there's all these low-budget ones too. Horror has made an amazing comeback, and I can't wait to see this next decade, what it brings to us. When I saw this film, I said it in the review, and I'll say it again. I truly think this movie is a great, simple story, and it proves how simple a story can be, but how great it can be because of James Wan direction. I truly, it's inspiring to me of his direction, this film. I love this movie because morally of James Wan. His master of using the camera and building up suspense and the characters and the Warrens with Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, developing these guys as people who go in people's houses and help them out with these ghosts and demons. But usually it's just like a pipe or stuff like that. But then once they meet this family, they realize, oh shit, they're haunted and we need to help them right now. And the movie from that point on is full of just terror, great character, dramatic moments. But before they enter the home, we get to meet this family, and that's what I love about this movie. We get to meet the mom. And the mom, played by Lily, she is so good in this movie. The mom is terrific. She is so good. And the first half of this movie is mainly her movie. I am glued to the screen. James Wan's direction is so good in this movie that if you honestly go and watch the Annabelle trilogy, probably the Nun, La Llorona, any of those movies, if you watch them, they really try to replicate James Wan direction. Honestly, go back and watch those movies. You can't tell me they're not trying to replicate his direction, his camera movement. But this movie is the one that started it all, and when this movie came out, it was a hit. It obviously started a complete franchise universe, and we got The Conjuring 2, and we're gonna get The Conjuring 3 next year, hopefully. But horror movies changed after this movie came out. They were saying, hey, we can have these simple plots, but we can make them really good. That's what James Wan did. So the impact this movie made to the horror genre, I think it changed it. I think this is the movie, the reason why we're getting these great horror films. Because of this movie, they took an easy plot. Family moves in a house. House is haunted. Scary shit is happening. As an audience, you are scared. We have these good characters, the Warrens, who are actually real-life investigators, and we get to meet these people and their family, and we get to put them in this house with great characters, scary situation, scary direction, sound design, the costume. This movie is the perfect study how to make a horror film and make popular, because obviously Hereditary, Midsommar, Get Out, these smaller horror films aren't the widespread acclaim. I mean, they're acclaimed and everything, but they're not the movies that like The Conjuring or The Shining. They're like, it's Get Out and Hereditary, these small horror films that people really deeply love. The Conjuring is the blockbuster horror movie that you go see in the summertime back in 2013 that made a ton of money and changed the landscape because of James Wan's amazing direction, the great performances from everyone, especially Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. There's a reason why we keep seeing them in all the Conjuring movies. I'm gonna give The Conjuring an A+. I think in about 10 years, people are gonna look back at this movie and they're gonna say the same thing I'm saying. This movie rejuvenated horror films. It gave us a life in horror films because of James Wan, and he's still making great movies today. I love The Conjuring. It is one of my top 10 favorite, top 5 maybe, horror films ever made. So anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye everyone.